In previous video, we used constructor function to create objects, and now in this video we are going to learn about JavaScript classes, which is a new feature introduced in ES6 that makes it easier to create and use objects in JavaScript. Now, these classes are a synthetic sugar over the existing prototypal inheritance mechanism in JavaScript. They provide a simpler and more elegant way to define constructor functions and prototype methods, and to use inheritance and polymorphism. They also have some new features such as static methods, getters, and setters, and private fields. However, JavaScript classes are not the same as classes in other languages such as Java or C++. They are still functions under the hood, and they still use the prototype chain to link objects. Therefore, it is important to understand how prototypal inheritance and prototype chain work in JavaScript before diving into classes. So please watch my previous video if you want to learn about prototypal inheritance. And now in this video, we will focus on JavaScript classes and how to use them to create and use objects in JavaScript. So let's get started. Now to create a class in JavaScript, we use the class keyword. So class, and after this we need to write the name of our class. So person, and then curly braces like this. Now just like constructor function, the name of the class should start with a capital letter. Now the part that is in these curly braces is called the body of the class, and this is where we define the constructor function and the methods of the class. Now this constructor function is a special method that is used to create and initialize an object of the class. It has the same name as the class, and it is executed automatically when we use the new keyword to create a new object. For example, to add this constructor function, we can write constructor, and in here we are going to provide the parameters like name and age, and then curly braces, and here we can write this dot name is equal to name, and this dot age is equal to age, like this. Now as you can see, this constructor function has two parameters, name and age, and these are the properties we want to assign to the object. And here we use this keyword to refer to the object that is being created, and then we assign the properties name and age to it. Now after this, we can use the new keyword to create a new object of the person class and pass the values for the name and age property. Now to create our object, we can write const alice is equal to new person, and here we have to provide these two parameters, name and age. So for name we can write alice, and for our age I am writing 26, like this. Now this creates a new object with the name and age properties set to alice and 26. Now just to take a look on this object, I am logging this variable which is alice, and now if I hit save, you can see we have our object with the age and name property. Now to access its name, we can write Alice dot name. If I hit save, you can see we have our name. And similarly, to access its age property, we can write Alice dot age. And now you can see we have 26, which is the age of this person. And now we are going to learn how we can add methods to the class. Now to add methods to this person class, we can write this method outside of this constructor function, and here we can write greet like this, and here this will log hello, my name is, then this dot name. And now to access this method, we can simply write alice dot greet like this. Now if I hit save, you can see our method is working because we have our text which is hello, my name is Alice. Now the difference between adding method to this constructor function and adding method to our class is that here we don't have to add method into the prototype. Like in our previous video, when we added method into the prototype of this constructor function, and we wrote person dot prototype dot greet is equal to this method. So by doing this, we added this method into the prototype. But here this is happening automatically. And now to show you that this method is in the prototype, I am going to log person dot prototype, and now if I hit save, you can see our greet method here inside of this object. So this is the prototype object. So we don't have to manually add our methods into the prototype when we are using classes. But if we are using this function constructor, here we need to add our method manually to our prototype by doing this. So I hope you understand this difference. And this is how we can create and use a basic class in JavaScript. However, classes have more features and capabilities than this. And now let's see some of them. And one of the feature of classes is that they can inherit from other classes using the extends keyword. This means that a class can inherit the properties and method of another class and add its own properties and methods. This is useful when we want to create a more specific or specialized class based on a more general or abstract class. For example, if we want to create a student class that inherit from the person class, we can write class and then here the name of the class that we want to create is student, and then we need to use the extends keyword to use the properties and method of this person class that we just created. Now extends, then the name of the class is person, and after this curly braces, and now this student class inherits all the properties and methods of this person class, and we can also add its own properties and methods. Now to add properties and methods to this student class, we need to use the super keyword to call the constructor of the person class, and then we are going to pass the values for the name and age properties, and then we can add the properties that are specific for this student class such as school and the grade. Now here first we are going to write constructor, and here for the parameters First one is the name, then age, and then school, and at last we have grade. Now inside of this constructor function, we are going to call the super method like this, and by doing this, we are basically calling the constructor of this person class. And here we are going to provide name and age. And after this, we are going to add this school and grade property. So we can write this dot school is equal to school, and this dot grade is equal to grade. Now again, this super keyword we are using here is to access the properties and method of the parent class. In our case, we are using it to call the constructor of the person class and pass the name and age parameters. This will assign the name and age properties to the object as in the person class. Then we use this keyword to assign this school and grade properties to the object as in the student class. And now we can create a new object of the student class, and we can pass the values for the name, age, school, and grade properties. For example, we can write let Bob is equal to new, then the name of the class is student, and here we are going to provide the name of the student, which is Bob, then the age is 18, and for our school name we can write MIT, and at last we have our grade, which is A, like this. And now this creates a new object with the name, age, school, and grade properties, and we can access these properties by writing bob dot name. And now if I hit save, you can see we have the name of the student, which is Bob. And similarly, to access age, we can write bob dot age, and we have our age, which is 18. Now to access the full object, you can simply log this bob variable. Now if I hit save, you can see we have our object with all the properties like age, grade, name, and school. And now if we take a look on this prototype object, which is coming from the person class, you can see here we have a constructor, and again we have this prototype object. If we expand this, you can see we have our greet method, which we defined in this person class. So we can also use this greet method that we defined here, and this is because of inheritance. So basically, this student class can access all the properties and method from this person class. Now to check that this method will work or not, we can simply write bob.greet, and if I hit save, you can see we have our string, which is hello, my name is Bob. And now I just want to show you how we can add method to this child class. So basically we can do the same thing, and here outside of this constructor function we are going to define our method like study, and here this study method will log the student name. So this dot name is studying hard to get a grade, then our placeholder, and here we can write this dot grade. And now to access this method, we can simply write bob dot study, then parentheses, and after hitting save, you can see in our console we have This dot name is studying hard to get a grade A. But here I forgot to write the dollar sign, and now if I hit save, and now we have our student name, which is Bob, and our text. And that's all I want to show you in this video. And in our next video, we will learn about getter and setter methods. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to join this web development journey with us. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Keep coding and keep creating. I will see you in the next video.